Yeah, hi Ali, how you doing? Good, good, right, excellent. Where was you? I thought you got lost. I did, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh, yeah, what it was, I said we'll do it tomorrow. So I just thinking, yeah, of course, yes, yeah, definitely. the funny thing is, it won't let me monetize it, and it's coming up as the data. All we can do today's basically. Stephen.
There's something that I couldn't do on it. Now I know there's 12 puppies on it, not 11. That's the can't count, Steve can't count.
Wait.
And owned by Mrs. Philippa
Right.
with only one L.
Yeah.
Philippa Green.
It's just confirmed we are live now at the end of the day, but I was just I was just.
Well, thank you, Marvin. I am delighted with you. Down the bottom of my Christmas card list.
I've just come in. Yeah, I've just come in from the bedroom into the living room, just to let you know. So that conversation 10 seconds ago was in the bedroom when we just when I just called you.
I'm not mentioned in that.
Not like that, of course. Naughty.
No, do I?
Naughty.
No, I'm not naughty at all.
Let me.
So have you got Stephen in with you yet or not?
Not yet, because I'm just trying to get him on the screen.
He is ready. I spoke to him about 10 minutes
I know
ago.
he's ready. Right, 1 second. Let me just get this off there.
Are we still there?
We are.
So I'm going to say good evening to a streamliner called Judith, who's messaged me several times today, and I hope that she is feeling great.
Well, I've got the picture up. That is absolutely. Oh, that is a beautiful picture. Right.
You know what dogs they are?
I don't know. No.
They're Bernese mountain dogs.
Oh, they're absolutely lovely. They are
12 of them.
absolutely beautiful. Let's just blow. See if we can blow that up a little bit.
Not literally.
No.
Good.
There we go.
Should I be on your side then, rather than have the cross program in front of me, or do you want me to go with that?
No, we can actually go with that.
Which one?
Well, both. We can actually go with both topics of conversation.
I know, but do you want me to have the program up on my screen so I can tell you what's happening?
Yes, please. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Right, 1 second. Let's just blow that down.
You realise I delayed my tea for you, don't you?
Did you? Oh, what were you cooking? Yeah.
I am cooking a piece of fish
Oh, lovely.
with chili sauce and lemon.
Oh, wow. Absolutely. Sounds amazing. Amazing.
Well, I
amazing.
don't know. I just mustn't forget it's in the oven, Marvin. Otherwise, I shall have burnt offerings.
Oh my god. I will keep an eye on it for you. Right then, let's get Stephen in. Had a call.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah.
And good evening, the streamliners. You haven't said good evening, Mark.
I know, we haven't started yet. We're just waiting for Stephen to come in.
Well, I thought you said that we were live.
No.
Good evening.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
All good. I trust you are too.
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, Stephen. Can everyone hear us in the chat?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Are you there, young Susie? Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, Stephen. And I've just given Marvin slap wrist.
I'm sorry. What it was, Stephen, I said we're going
Excuse.
I can't talk, Stephen, today.
I've got too much to you now.
Yeah. But the main thing is at least we hear it, and I've actually got the pictures of yourselves. And is it 12 dogs, Ali, or?
Well, yes.
It is 12. Oh, it looks wonderful. It really does. Lovely picture. So, Stephen, do you want to introduce? We're actually live now. Do you want to introduce yourself to the streamliners and what you do in your life?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening. And thank you very much for having me on your programme. And I hope all that are listening are well. My name's Stephen Salter. I have a company called Salt Pet Nutrition, based in Saxmundham in Suffolk. And I'm a third generation butcher turned into a manufacturer of a very high quality food for our dogs. And the idea of what we do 26 years ago nearly was to create a dry food using very high quality ingredients. Now the chicken that goes into my food is roasted, whole, then it's deboned, then it's minced, then it's dried, and I buy it in that format. I've even got lovely things like Italian extra virgin olive oil, not just olive oil, but the extra virgin olive oil, which is the best, incorporated in my foods for our dogs. And we don't have any chemicals, colours, flavour enhancers, synthetics, and it's sealed naturally with natural vitamins. So it's very healthy. Dogs that come onto our food stay on our food, and although we're a veterinary formulated food by trade, because our vets are on board with us, the dogs very rarely go to the vets with the ailments that may well be picked up from eating other things, shall we say.
Stephen, how would you, like I said, compare it to, like, say, supermarkets, basically meals for the dog? How would it? What is the difference? Are you saying like the stuff you do, it's more quality and more healthier for the dog?
In my personal opinion, absolutely.
Wow.
We've gone great trouble to create these 4 different recipes, which have stayed the same in mix and the same suppliers over 25 years now, and it's all about the quality. We know when we give our meals to our family that we want to give them good, healthy, sustainable, enjoyable food, which will obviously fuel the body and look after it properly. And we know that if we choose to eat, which we have many choices of, low-end quality products, which we know really aren't so good for us, but sometimes we do choose it for various because we have all those choices available to us. But yes, I would say, in my personal opinion, that I don't think there's anything else out there that has my kind of quality in other recipes. I feel proud of what we've done. My family, as I say, go back to 3 generations of butchering since 1922, and we always traded on quality. And that's what it's about: quality of ingredients and quality of service.
That's absolutely amazing. What I'll do as well is, obviously, if people want to get hold of you, maybe your email address or business line where they can actually go online.
Salter's Dog Food, Salt Pet Nutrition, and we'll ping up in front of you. And please contact us. We love to talk to people. I'm always available by phone. We're not just order takers. We do actually like to speak to our customers. And if they've got any problems with their dogs, if we can be of help and advise that one of my foods may be better a situation than another. For instance, if you've got a senior dog that is starting to show signs that it's slowing down, then that is the time to turn it onto our senior from our adult maintenance. If you've got a dog that perhaps isn't particularly putting on enough muscle or is a bit lackluster, then that would be the time to go on to our energy. So we've got 4 different foods. The other one is our puppy food. So we have puppy food, we have adult food, we have a senior food, and we have a high energy food. So in talking to us, we can make sure that we're getting you the right food for the right application for your dog. And it's a very personal thing. And our dogs are, our friends of our family. And so yes, please talk to us. Please ring us. Please talk.
I think it's really important because you get a lot of people getting like dogs for Christmas, and I don't think sometimes, especially if people have got a dog for the first time, I don't think they sometimes realise how much work needs to go into keeping that dog in good condition, and if it needs vet's treatment. I mean, it's funny because my daughter had a rabbit a few years ago, and sadly it died. And She was saying at the end of the day, sort of when it started getting elderly, she was taken to the vets a lot more, and the vets are not cheap anymore. So it's just to put it out there that if people are thinking of getting a dog for the first time, I think they should probably read up a little bit about it and take it into consideration. A dog's for life, and it's not easy work. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, you have to be dedicated. You're bringing that dear little thing into the family, and it needs looking after like any other human being. To be
Yes.
fair,
Yeah.
and yes, there are times when you do need to go to the vets, and you do have to pay out the money for that. And sometimes that there's no getting away from that. So you have to be able to budget for these things as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look at the costs that are potentially involved, because that little lady or that little fella coming into your family
Mm-hmm.
is totally dependent on you and you looking after it. They'll give you all the love and affection that you'll get back from them, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But you are looking after them as well. So you have to be prepared to cover things and look after them properly.
Mm-hmm. Ali, just to bring you in, what's your view of looking after a dog, especially if someone wants one for the first time? Because I think you said you did dog training before, didn't you?
Oh yes, well, I would suggest people get hold of the Kennel Club.
Okay.
They give a lot of advice. There's a lot of leaflets you can pick up. Crufts at the moment has a stand which I've served on is the Discover Dog. So if anybody's looking for a dog,
Mm-hmm.
go into Crufts and have a look at the 200 odd stands there is there of all the different dogs, because the dog might suit you and your lifestyle. It's no good having, for instance, a German Shepherd if you're on the 12th floor of a block of flats with no outside space. So you need to kind of tailor it for that. And I've done quite a lot actually in the dog world, but you'll get to hear about that shortly, no doubt. But yes, fantastic companionship, and you can only deal with the training with kindness, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I love dogs. I'm not one of them. I'm always like hands on. If a dog comes running up to me, I won't run. I should say that I did run once actually, Ali, which you know about that. But I think I was having a nervous morning. Yeah. And so the Crufts show is on today. So what can we expect, Stephen and Susie?
Okay. Right. Today has been Terrier and Hound Day.
Yeah.
And they picked out, there is a lot of dogs there today. There's actually, I think the last figure I looked at was something like 36,000 dogs altogether over the 4 days. So it's absolutely huge. If anybody's not been to Crufts, they ought to really go, especially if you want a dog, or go to a dog champ show fairly near where you live. They're all listed again. The Kennel Club have the list, and join a local little club to learn about your dogs and what you want, because the most important thing is buying a dog that is good in house and has been bred properly, and the genetics are fine. I'm very hot on that, and also that you've got the right knowledge, or you're willing to learn on how to look after the dog. I've been lucky. I've had all different types of dogs in my life, with quite a few Crufts winners as well.
So
that are there today.
So you can actually go there, Ali, and basically there are experts who let you know about having like dogs for the first time and how to handle them and things. So there's a lot of sort of hands-on stuff there. That's absolutely brilliant.
Oh yeah. And tomorrow, for instance, there's a young handlers competition, which is good to view on the Crufts own website, and also we've got the police training dogs, which I know Stephen's very involved in, so maybe he'll like to speak in a minute on that. And we've got all the breeds. Now tomorrow is toy and utility, and of course everybody that knows me knows my speciality is toys and gun dogs. So tomorrow I shall be able to give quite a lot. I've had 5 champions in the toys groups, which has been quite a eventful time.
Exceptional.
I got into it by default. It was a friend of mine that was doing it. She'd had an operation, asked me to take her because she was competing, but she couldn't drive because she'd still got stitches in her. And I was able to take her up to this place near Bath, and I ended up absolutely fascinated, and she got me to take my examination, which I did, and then I went on from there, and I am a qualified B listed judge.
Wow.
Kennel Club judge.
Wow.
So I'm a bit retired now. I don't do the circuit anymore, but I will do like charity ones to raise funds for various different things. Yeah. So, but I can assure you the best way to do it is to go and have a look and speak to people. Stephen's got a great lot of different types of breed of dogs working with him. So, you know, go and speak to people. People are really kind enough to, but as I say, you've got to, I think the dog picks you, actually.
I think you're right. I think you're right, because I've got a few friends, Ali, who have dogs, and like I say, because I keep going to the house, the dog sees me as a friend. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't feed me anymore like it did when I first saw me at the end of the day. And they tend to have different traits with you when they start to get to know you more.
Yeah, there is a good book that the Kennel Club produces, quite expensive, but it is worth getting if you're thinking of getting a dog. It's a guide to all the breeds, and it lists all the problems. Certain breeds have certain problems. Not all of them have problems, but you need to be aware of the breeds that have problems. Like the short-nosed breeds do suffer from breathing problems, so you need to look at that. And also there's lots of other things you need to look at. You need a good vet. Imperative that you get on with your vet, all right? So you have to make sure that you can get someone that, you know, is recommended. They're in it like every other thing. It's a business at the end of the day. But there's also specialist vets, and the Kennel Club do have a list of those specialist vets on certain subjects. I mean, I used to have Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, and of course one of their problems is syringomyelia, which, you know, unless you know what you're doing, and also heart valve problems. So again, the breeding of it is absolutely imperative that you get that right, because you don't want to have to spend loads of money on vet fees, plus, you know, having to put a dog through absolute hell. So, you know, we just get hold of the Kennel Club. They have got fantastic facilities, and they've got the Kennel Club itself is a beautiful building in London, and very interesting. They've got all the history there for anybody that's in London. It's worth going there just to have a look at all the history. But now their actual data place is actually in Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire. So, you know, again, pick up the phone to the Kennel Club. They're there every day, and they're happy to answer any questions.
Wonderful. The other thing is, Stephen was going to mention that he trains dogs for the police. Is that correct, Stephen?
No, I don't actually train the dogs for the police, but I do supply a number of forces with our Soldiers Foods.
Wow.
And we were lucky enough in our history to be invited to supply food to Keston, which is one of the few breeding police centres where they breed their own dogs. And because of our affinity and the way that dogs performed at Suffolk, they spoke to their friends at the Met, and we were invited to supply for a while there. And we did so, and with great results. Unfortunately for us, one of the inspectors that was in charge had to go off to dangerous dogs, a different department, and a new inspector came in, and of course we're up against the huge conglomerates that make these figures for dogs, and we're just a mere pebble on the beach in comparison. But we have a quality that I feel is you know, we very, very difficult to beat, especially with the margins that are out there. We work on a very slim margin because I want the quality. I want to use the quality of the ingredients to make the food.
Yes.
But, one funny story I will give you about the police, because often when I've delivered to our local constabulary, you hear funny stories, and they were then off to, or just had been, to pick up a couple of dangerous dogs that they expected to have to put on a long leash with a collar around and pull them into the van, etc., and then deal with them for the general public's protection.
Wow.
And take them away. But they were snarling and going ahead, and he suddenly realised, he said to me, Steve, he said, I've got some of your energy treats in the car. He said, I want to keep a few of those in the car with me. So he threw them down in front of these snarling dogs, and these dogs lapped it up, and they followed this police officer like kittens, like Hansel and Gretel, followed them, threw the food into the back of the van, and they hopped in there quite happily.
Wow.
And, so that was rather time.
What a story.
Yeah, so that's rather nice story. And then they showed me, I was at Essex Police at one point, and they showed me how they trained these dogs for, obviously for drugs and for microchips.
Mm-hmm.
And they said to me, which is quite interesting, that with the microchip of a phone, there's a special oil on there that's put on there during manufacture, and they train these dogs to sniff out the oil on the microchip of the phone or the computer or.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and when you think that's hidden behind a brick wall, and they have to sniff it out to find it, it's amazing, because obviously they have a different sense of smell. But the techniques they use to train these dogs is phenomenal. Amazing, and hats off to them. They do it.
It seems like these days it seems to be like super sort of specialist now compared to say like 20 years ago or something like that. I mean, it's really sophisticated now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, because crime has got sophisticated, hasn't it? So
yes, it has. Yes.
But when you think of these animals, that they want to be in tip-top condition, because if they're unwell, poor things, for whatever reason, the bobby is off the beat, so to speak, isn't it?
Yes.
So they're not out on not patrolling the streets or going their bands to go after said criminals. So yeah, you want your dog in tip-top condition because you want it working alongside you all the time.
Yeah.
If that's not working, you're not working, and there'll be two people down with me.
The funny thing is I remember my mum was watching crufts years and years ago, and it used to come on TV, and we were absolutely, as kids, we were absolutely fascinated with the actual show. But what is it now? Because it's still big, but it's not on normal TV the way it once was. And I think that had a lot to do with it, because I'm sure it went on, like I said, like a Sky channel for a little while. Because like I said, is it not on like the BBC or ITV or a rerun or something like it used to be?
I can come in there. It's on Channel 4.
Oh right, I got you. Maybe it's just I'm probably getting older, but I can remember it sort of being a massive thing. It still is now, but I don't think it is big as what it was, say 10-15 years ago, probably because of all the programs and different channels out there now. But to me, it's still a wonderful thing.
Absolutely, they do a great job.
Yeah. Susie? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you like to say?
Well, I expect Best in Show will be on the telly on Sunday, because it normally does command a huge audience worldwide.
Wow.
And you'll have the creme de la creme of the dog world, and the groups from each of the different breed sections. Like tomorrow, it's toy and utility. Those are whittled down to just the bitch and the dog winner, and they will go head to head, and that's done in Sunday morning, and then you'll have Best in Show later on in the afternoon, evening. So we're looking at different breeds. We don't know who's going to win. I watched the breed exhibitors rounds earlier, which is one breeder breeding 5 champions, and then they go all up against another. I saw that. That was very good. And my dear friend Frank Kane was commenting on that, and I believe he's on doing where is he? Yeah, he's doing miniature schnauzers tomorrow at about 10 o'clock. And he is a terrier man, so that's interesting. And then we've also got the imported registers tomorrow. That's all the, different types of imported dogs, the rarer ones. Poodles are on. And then we've got all the toys, which is my things like starting with the pugs all the way through to the Maltese, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, the Whippets.
Wow.
The Chinese Crested, which is the one that I sent you a picture of yesterday. And that was my champion. And then you've got the Cavalier King Charles Spaniels and the Chihuahuas, and I think it's quite a few different breeds. It's the toy section, and that's the group I judge. So you have to whittle them down. They go up against each other and they whittle down. But it's better if you just watch it, because then you'll get an idea of how it is. And then we've got the police display sometime 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. So maybe Stephen will like to come in on that one.
That'll be really interesting.
Yeah, that'll be very nice. Very nice too.
Yeah, so we've got English Toy Spaniel, we've got Pomeranians, we've got the Australian Silky Terriers, and then the Cavaliers, which was my first breed actually. Maltese, Yorkshire Terriers, Affan Pinchers, Cotton d'Etoiliers, and then in the afternoon later we've got the Young Kennel Club Stakes with the youngsters, which is really good because the youngsters have a go.
Oh, wow. That is absolutely amazing. What just a point on, like I said, some of these dangerous breed dogs. Would you say, I don't think it is the dog. I just think it's the way the dogs have been brought up to sometimes be intimidating. Would you say that?
Are you talking to me?
Stephen first. Just about like I said, dogs that are, is said to be aggressive. I think it's that they may be that way.
I think in a lot of cases that is true, but I think there is some genetics involved in it as well.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just awful to see how some of these dogs end up when they're sort of brought into that type of lifestyle for whatever reason, and the way they're treated. All things have got really no hope at the end of the day, and they've been put through hell, haven't they? And it's awful to see, but of course we have to put up with these things, unfortunately. The laws are out there, and they will do their utmost to keep us safe, really.
Yeah, I think they've really sort of tightened up on dog law, especially over the last sort of 5 years. I would say they've got stringent, and I do think it's a good thing at the end of the day, because I do find that you just find people who generally just want dogs because they love that dog and want to spend sort of the dog is part of the family, and then the also children start to love that dog too. I think it's important.
Well, your dog is always pleased to see you.
Yes.
You can't always say that about your wife.
I'm not going to get in on this. The only thing that I would say with crufts and any competition is, if you go and you've competed in that, you always take the best dog home anyway.
Wow. Wow.
But talking about dangerous dogs, there is a genetics thing linked to some of the breeds. Yeah, there is definitely a link. But again, it's fit for purpose. It's the person's lifestyle, where they live, have they got time to actually deal with these things, and have they trained it? It's a lot of commitment, really. But and I mean, for me, I've never had kennels. I've never had large numbers of dogs. You know, they're my friends. My dogs are my companions. So I haven't had kennels. I haven't got them locked up or anything. They lead a normal lifestyle, and that's how it should be with the best food in the world.
Wow. Yeah, that is.
That's very kind of you to say so. Thank you.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. It really is amazing. Do you know what? I think it's always brilliant to basically talk about something that someone's passionate about, which is dogs. Because, like I said, I've said to you that I always wanted a dog. But like I said, I just haven't got the time, but I do love them. I could definitely see myself having one in later life. A little poodle. I like them. They're cute.
Could I just say one thing about as an offshoot from food?
Go on.
Bones with my butcher's hat on, because I think it's important for people to know that have dogs and want to give them a bone. A bone is excellent for the dog, but you must give it the right one. And in my personal opinion, you should only ever give your dog a piece or several pieces of beef marrow bone. It's the thigh bone, not necessarily the knuckle end, but the middle pieces, so they can enjoy the marrow, lick that out. They won't come to any harm with licking that marrow out, and they can chew away nicely on those little sections of bone that you've asked the butcher to cut up for you, and you put a few bob of his bone in for a bit of charity. He'll cut you 2 or 3 pieces up, put them in the freezer, and then when you pull a piece out and they lick the marrow bone out, chew it, the odd little pieces that they chew off won't come to any harm. But if you, in my opinion, I would never feed a dog a lamb, a pork, or a chicken bone, because you just think when you're out having a piece of fish one day and you get a little fine bone caught in your throat, you think of the agony that causes you. Just think what it'd be like if one of those chicken wing bones shattered and got stuck in your dog's throat.
Oh my God.
And they're writhing in agony. What are you going to do? Your only choice is to get it to the vet as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But the reason it's having that is because you've given it to it. So, in my opinion, the only bone you should ever feed a dog and give a dog is a piece of, from your local butcher. Go and ask him to cut you 2 or 3 pieces of middle cut of beef marrow bone. That's the thigh bone, which would be ideal for them. They'll enjoy the marrow. They'll chew away. They'll be happy enough to save them chewing up the chicken delta and the children.
That's very, very interesting to know, because I never would have ever thought that, because you just thought give a dog any bone. But like I said, you've got to be careful what you give the dog, just in case it chokes or gets stuck in their throat. Wow.
Can I ask you a question, please, Stephen? Does that work with men as well, giving them marrow bones?
Well, I always say when you're giving your dog a treat, because we have saltless treats as well, and I often say to the people that the treat is you feeding it between your fingers to your dog's mouth, saying, "There you are, good boy, good girl, have a treat." Exactly what you've got between your fingers. And the treat would be also, if you're lying on the sofa and your wife gives you some chocolate hobnobs or grapes, it doesn't matter. The fact she's feeding you is the treat.
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't shut him up so much as a marrow bone, does it?
Excellent.
No, probably they can gnaw a bit longer on the bone.
Exactly. I can think of several people I would give one to. Having said that, you're absolutely right about chicken bones. I wouldn't give mine chicken bones, especially small toy dogs. But we can't go there on that.
It's not worth the risk.
It isn't worth the risk. No, you're absolutely right.
But sometimes you see some people giving the dog sometimes leftover food off their plate. But like I said, surely there's a difference between, like, obviously human consumption food and dog food as well. At the end of the day, they could be like sort of, I don't know, like beans, or like I said, cooked off meat, which is left on the side, and people actually feed their sometimes their dog that, because the dog is hungry at the end of the day. Surely the dog's diet is very, very important too.
Well, it is the diet is a balance, like all things in life.
Yeah.
And this is why some people prefer to give a raw diet, which is fine. But of course, you know, if you're just feeding a raw meat diet, you've got other nutrients it needs as well, you know, because it really does need a balance. So you have to add other things to it. So at least with the dry kibble that's been made with high quality ingredients, you've got that complete balance in each and every nugget. So providing you weigh it out at the given weight on the back of the bag, you've got the complete meal with everything the dog's body needs in it in a dry form. And the other thing with feeding a dry food as opposed to a wet food, of course, is the cleanliness of it. If you look at the situation with pet dogs, where people take dogs into hospitals and schools,
I have one.
They can't take pet dogs into those places if they're fed on wet raw food. They have to be fed on a dry food. So that leads you to think, well, why is that? Well, obviously it's to do with the bacteria. At least with a cooked article, it's a lot cleaner and a lot safer, especially if you've got young children. You know, you've got your family dog, and you know, you want to keep everything clean, neat and tidy. Well, if you've got your youngster roaring around on its knees on the floor and comes across a dog bowl that's got, say, wet meat in it, they stick their fingers to that and then stick it in their mouth invariably, they're going to trouble it. So, you know, I've even had people write about my food where they've taken their dogs for a walk and stuck their hand in the pocket and been chewing on my nuggets and say, well, actually, Stephen, for a dry food, they don't taste too bad at all.
And it's not going to do them any harm. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Remind me one night to tell you what happened when I was in hospital and my husband was getting his lunch. But I'll tell you another day because it's a long-winded joke.
Well, I always maintain that I have a nibble or two at my food as I go along because that's what keeps my nose moist and helps me be able to cock my leg properly.
Well, the only thing that my dogs won't eat, they don't eat at all, is chili con carne. Don't try feeding your dog chili con carne because the beans in it are no good for your dog whatsoever.
No, I think a plastic pair of pants would be needed after that.
Yeah, I should think so, yeah. But I think sorry.
So what foods are not good for a dog, Ali?
What are not good for a dog?
Yeah.
Well, lots of kind of what we call fillers, and Stephen knows what fillers are. They're kind of things just to bulk out food, which have got lots of E numbers and aren't organic. And it's a bit like us, you know, I'm on an organic diet, as you know. And it's a lot of fresh stuff that you've made into kibble, which is great.
Okay.
And you shouldn't have to, what you put in is what you get out, really.
Fearless Burton said in the chat, isn't onions poisonous for dogs? Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Burton. Wow.
Yeah, it is. Onions and garlic are poisonous.
To dogs? Why is that? Because they're good for humans.
Well, I don't really know, but it's all in moderation. I mean, if your dog picked up, say, 1 leaf of an onion, I don't think that would kill it.
Okay.
But it'd probably have an upset stomach, you know.
I got you.
There are certain things that you must not feed dogs, and again, the Kennel Club do a lovely list which you can run through and see. Chocolate is another thing you shouldn't be giving your dogs either.
I heard that, because another thing that will upset their stomach.
Yeah, but that will kill your dog if they get hold of, say, a whole bar of chocolate. You can buy chocolate which is made and processed especially for dogs.
I got you.
But I'm talking about your things that you don't buy in the supermarket. Your chocolate, the chocolate bars that you can buy yourself. You mustn't give your dog chocolate.
Wow.
Just beware on that Christmas tree when you have those little chocolate treats hanging off that you haven't left your dear friend in the room when you've gone to bed at night, because they'll strip that away and then you really will have a problem.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, and obviously the foil on it as well. Oh my God. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you have to be sort of very, very careful. So crufts is on for the next 3 days, is it?
Yeah, we've already had the first day today.
Okay.
It's toy and utility tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you've got the other breeds on, and plus you've got all the rest of it. The program is online, so you can look on that. There's lots going on. I mean, not just the breeds. They've also got vets there. Professor Noel Fitzpatrick is on looking around. There's dancing with dogs. There's there's the agility. I used to do agility with one of my spaniels.
Wow.
And that's great fun. And then you've got, the program is enormous. Plus, it's a lovely shopping experience if you like dogs. And it's not just doggy stuff there. There's lots of stuff. There's books and that. So, yeah, but it's really interesting and good fun. But need to get, I always think it's better to take your own fold-up seat, because then you can sit down, because it's really difficult to find somewhere to sit sometimes.
Yeah. Is it got like mini stalls around the complex as well? Like you said, your doggy stalls and stuff like that. And there's other stalls and things. And wow, that sounds amazing. So obviously, if people, obviously not this year, but if people wanted to go next year, what are the sort of like the prices for the tickets? Is there different prices for tickets, or is it just one set price?
Yeah, there is a special discount for old age pensioners and for various other things. I mean, the sooner you buy your tickets, the better. They have gone up terrifically, but then everything's gone up. But it's a good day out. Just make sure that you get your transportation sorted out up to Crufts, or you go on one of these bus. There's a lot of coach trips up there for the day, which is great. Or you can go by train. I normally I have friends fairly near there, about 5 miles away, and I stay there and then I just walk down the lane, get on the train with my dogs, and within 5 or 10 minutes for £1, I'm right inside the NEC, so I haven't got to worry about parking or anything. That's another good idea to do.
Wow.
Or you can stay in a hotel. There's lots of ways, but it isn't an expensive day out. But as I say, you need to take a bit of a provision, make sure you've got plenty to drink, because sometimes the queues are quite long, so you need to do that. But Stephen and I were talking about maybe we might do something there next year, which we can do together. So we'll see.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
and go up in the hostess part, which we can get into, but we'll have to discuss that.
Excellent. What are the sort of prices of the tickets? Are we talking £20 upwards?
Yeah, between £20 and £30, I would say.
That's not too bad, actually. That's quite, to go and see something so brilliant and unique as well, and a famous show, that's not a bad price. Considering some of these youngsters pay like £100 for a ticket to watch rubbish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there is also their Discover Dogs, which is a section which has about 200 stands, which is manned voluntary. I've done it myself, and you can go to those stands and you can actually meet that breed. So, if you're looking at, say, a terrier, you can go to the terrier section, you can look at all the terriers, you can go and ask questions, you can actually handle a dog there, so that you can see, and also the care of it, with what kind of brushing it needs and everything. It's so interesting, and you get a lot of knowledge. And normally those places have leaflets that you can pick up. So, I took my little cousin there one year, and he spent all his time going around every single stand, and he came home with 200 leaflets, because his school told him they needed to have a story on the breeds, and he wasn't going to miss any out. So he leaflets which are full of information. So, you know, it's just great, really.
Wow, amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's always something that fascinated me, even like as a kid. Once the show's on, I will look into it. I think it's brilliant, and it's also fun too. Do you know what I mean? It sort of brings a smile on his face. So sometimes how clever these little dogs are. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they have a whale of a time. I mean, I know that Ashley Butler is up there today, and she does a routine with her dogs, dancing with dogs, which is ever so funny and great entertainment. So there's lots of things that people can go and look at, but also there's all the champ shows which are all over the UK, and you can go and you can go and watch those. And usually the entrance is free for those, which means that you can go in and watch and see what's going on and get a flavour for what kind of dog you want or what's more suitable, taking into consideration. And one thing I don't think a lot of people know is that you also have to clean their teeth. Not many people know you have to clean your dog's teeth every day.
Oh my word.
Well, that's where gnawing on that lovely piece of marrowbone helps as well, you see.
Yeah.
I never knew that. Basically, that their teeth needs to be cleaned every day, because, like I said, some, not all, but some dogs have got like yellow coming through. But I just thought that was just natural for a dog myself.
Well, it is if you don't clean them, Marvin. What kind of teeth are yours?
They're brown.
Stephen, you'll have to send him a marathon.
I'll nip down to the butcher's tomorrow morning for you, Marvin, and I'll get 2 or 3 things.
Thank you very much. So,
The tail wag.
Stephen, I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, it just shows you're happy, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's what she said.
I'm keeping quiet.
Oh my God. Yeah. So we're coming up to 53 minutes, people. But like I said, it's lovely to have you on, Stephen, and we'll definitely have you on again. And we'll probably talk. Thank you very much. And brilliant again. Thank you for your help, Ali. Once again, you're a star.
Oh, bless you. I'll make a note of that.
Just yeah.
Will that be a gold star?
A gold star.
Joke,
Yeah, it is. It's a gold star. It is a gold star. Thank you
I
very
thought you said the other day it would be silver.
No, I'm going to say gold. It's gold, because you've done a lot of hard work for me this week, and I do really appreciate it.
Thank you, Grovel, please.
Just a quickie, Stephen and Ali, just about obviously the Jack O'Sullivan case. What you know? What are your thoughts on what they're doing in Bristol at the moment? Because it just seems a bit major, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly is, yes.
Yeah.
Susie, do you?
Oh, yeah, well, I haven't actually caught up with it this afternoon because I was tearing around and following tractors that had turned over and things like that. But no, I mean, I did something on there for you this morning, Marvin, because there was this other lad, and do you know what? It was nearly the same date and the exact same time as Jack O'Sullivan was missing, except there's a year in between.
Oh my God!
His name was, don't ask me to pronounce his second name, but in exactly the same place. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen anything this afternoon. I thought they were going to reconvene and start again. Dredging the Cumberland base in Bristol, but I haven't heard any more. Maybe they're doing it tomorrow because I think the weather's going to be better tomorrow because it's been really misty down here today.
Haley comment is mentioned 6 people going missing in that sort of same area since 2017. So that was kind of interesting. But like I said, it's obviously once it's drained it's you know, I hoped, you know, we hope to God that there isn't any bodies in there, but like I said, but some people have mentioned that CCTV camera saw someone going into the water or someone putting something into the water. There's sort of two types of things.
That was a red alert to the police, I think. Well, I'm sure that they caught it on CCTV that something or things were put in the water. Things with an S on the end were put in the water. So I don't think they would have organised this huge operation to drain the Cumberland Basin unless there was, you know, kind of a good tip-off, I shouldn't have thought. They wouldn't have spent the money for a start.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, right. Thank you very much, Stephen. I will be in touch. And once again, thank you, Ali, for all your hard work and dedication. And we will definitely do another doggy show soon.
Okay, perfect. Happy to give any advice. Happy to.
Yeah. Marvin,
yes.
Are you doing covering Best in Show on Sunday, or are you covering the toy and utility breeds tomorrow?
What is entirely up to you, sweetheart. Entirely up to you what you want to do. If you want to,
as long as I know.
Yeah. What I'll do, if I message you, say tomorrow morning, then I'll sort of know where I am. Is that okay? And then we'll sort of know what to put on.
Yeah. Okay. Is that all right with Stephen?
Absolutely fine. Perfect.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thanks.
Enjoy your evening.
Take care.
And you, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Think about marrow bones all night.
I want one now.
Think about that wagon tail. That's what we're going to do. All right. Enjoy your evening.
Okay, take care.
Okay.
Cheers. Bye, Stephen.
Thanks, Stephen.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Yeah. Yeah, Susie. So yeah, sorry. We need to do something about basically, obviously, a live update on the Jack O'Sullivan stuff.
Yeah. Right. Are you off air now?
Yes.
Good. I'm glad you told me.
Hold on.
Oh dear. I hope to give you a new brain.
Yeah, that was brilliant.